Hey, it's Tarrmu, and welcome to Thinking Out Loud. And in today's video, we'll be talking about the past week in video games and the two major games that dropped, and that both dropped on Game Pass. So it's no secret at this point that Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is an incredible video game, and one that very likely has the capacity to be Game of the Year. The consensus between both fans and critics holds this game to a standard of universal acclaim, and as someone who just finished the game a day ago, I too myself have a lot to say about this, and I do believe that this is truly something special. But couple this with the long rumored and worst kept secret that is the Oblivion Remaster, which further muddles the debate around what makes a game a remaster and what makes one a remake, but we'll get into that. And you really do have a treat in the world of video games. But the cherry on top of all of this is if you have an active Game Pass subscription, you'll be able to access and play both of these games, which to me is an absolute steal. And seriously, I talked about this year, like how this year in video games would be a total banger for video games. Like last year, I made a video thinking out loud on it actually, and I do believe that it is shaping up to be an incredible year for video games. 2025 is an incredible year. There is a juggernaut of games that have already released this year, and there's a ton still on the backlog that are waiting to come out. Now let's start with Expedition 33. This game is currently a frontrunner for Game of the Year, and for me, personally, currently this game is my Game of the Year. But I'm still making my way through KCD2, and Split Fiction is another contender that is pretty up there for me. But me personally, Expedition 33 is a special game that has an interesting take on turn-based combat, taking many old ideas from different JRPGs and factoring them in with their own unique twist, and a narrative and world that is rich and full of substance. But I'll save all of those comments for my review and my spoiler video diving into the story, both of which I'm in the process of making right now. But in short, Expedition 33 is a huge win for video games and for Samful Interactive. That small team of 30 devs really have made an incredible video game here, one that we'll be talking about for years to come, I suspect, and this is a huge success story. But that wasn't all. The long rumored Oblivion, the game that we had been seeing the lead up to and rumor videos just continually dropping and people on Twitter tweeting that this game is going to be shadow dropped. Well, it was. And this remaster drops, and not only does it drop, but this game is considered a remaster. It's absolutely wild to me at first, but it began to make a lot of sense when you realize that although this game is running in Unreal Engine 5, the original code, Radiant AI, and all the little quirks that made Oblivion tick are all still intact the way that they were. This game is running off two engines. It's using Unreal Engine 5, but it still is using the creation engine to leverage many of these different things that held the original Oblivion intact, making the game feel like an original with a refurbished update and some tweaks that run in Unreal Engine 5. It's insane to me. And I know that I'm being very simplistic with how I come across with this, but it's the simple way to put it, and it's incredible. It's wizardry, and I didn't even know that that was possible up until this point. The work that Virtuous and Bethesda put into this experience is absolutely wild, and Virtuous have absolutely nailed striking the balancing act of preserving what made Oblivion special whilst providing a new coat of paint. Even if some of the more vibrant aspects and the bloom effects that really gave the original Oblivion that distinct look aren't necessarily there in the same way given this new coat of paint, Oblivion overall is still a massive win and an incredible game, and many people are jumping in for the first time and re-experiencing or experiencing the magic that is Oblivion, and it is a high bar that has been set here for what we should consider a remaster. Now, the real cherry on top for all of this is that if you have an active Game Pass subscription, then both of these games are ready to install and play as soon as they released. And they still are ready to play now if you haven't had the chance to install them, which, I mean, for 1 week of releases is absolutely nuts. And if you are interested in either of these games, the value proposition that Game Pass offers is absolutely a no-brainer for these games. It has been an absolutely crazy win for Game Pass, and it's been a great win to see both of these games thrive with strong player counts through Steam and, as you could imagine, through Game Pass. We don't have any real conclusive data here for the Game Pass numbers, but I can imagine that there's many people jumping on through Game Pass as well as Steam, both consuming and playing both of these games. But yeah, this is just 1 week in what's becoming a more and more stacked year for video games, and there is a lot to look forward to. We are at the start of May now, and we have Doom the Dark Ages, Elden Ring Night Reign, Death Stranding 2, and tons of games at the door. And I think it's incredible, man. Like, we are in for a great year, and this is just one incredible incredible week, and I know I'm just giving you a recount of events that have happened, but I just think it's an exceptionally crazy week to see two really strong games release, and released on just Game Pass of all things, and so many people just enjoying video games. But yeah, what do you think, and what are you currently playing? Are you making your way through Oblivion for the first or 100th time, or are you setting out to stop the Paintress in Expedition 33? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, I'm Tarrmu, and this has been Thinking Out Loud. Thanks for watching.